Hey YouTube, welcome back to the Vault. This is John here at Lock TCG coming at you with another video. I know we've been a little quiet for the last couple of weeks. We've just been busy between both myself and the group. We've had plenty of recordings though, so we're going to start getting those out to you right now. I am the sole person on this video though, so I do apologize. If you just want to watch the gameplay video, feel free to tune me out. Otherwise, we have the final round from one of our local nights. Not last week. This is going to be the week prior for the week of the 14th. It's me playing Super Saiyan 3 Ramp Goku again, and I'm playing against one of our newer local players. He's not new to the game, but he is new to the store. His name is Trino. He's piloting Supreme Kai of Time. In this matchup, overall in the day, I was having fun. Super Saiyan 3 has always been a personal package I have been working on myself. Now that I do make my own spin on it, not own spin, it's just I keep tradition to how I originally started playing Super Saiyan 3, not errata, but revamp, which was I played with the original Ultra Instinct Goku from set 3. But also on top of that, I do take full swing of the advantage of getting an untapped 3 on my end step. And so I've realized I just want to play the mono blue package, so that's where I am right now. Of course, there are other iterations that are to come late, and I probably will be trying soon enough. But going against this deck, I did end up going first. Of course, the turn 1 is probably the worst play because I only get to charge one. I charge in the past because there's not really a lot of turn 1 plays. Trino was able to go in. He's already bursting, getting his plays. He plays the Kai as first overwhelm. Of course, he does have the Demigra turn 1, so he got to overwhelm. I want to say twice, but so passing to my second turn, I'm going ahead and charging the Boo. Typically that Boo is what I want to hold in hand, but to my knowledge, I know if you can see right there off my hand, I already do actually have one in hand, so I didn't mind charging the other one, knowing I have Zenos in my deck if I ever did need to receive it back from my energy. So going in for the swing, I am just trying to get that free +1 charge. Of course, I have the net one from my hand, and I'm not drawing any cards, so being able to know this deck, their overall deck is an aggro matchup, but knowing that I at least won't get pushed into infinity and beyond is good. I know right here I go ahead and play the Calamity Challenger. Still, in my opinion, one of the best mono blue cards out there, especially if you are playing any kind of a ramp deck. I think Calamity Challenger is a must-have because your turn 2, essentially, if you're playing ramp, you're going to be... If you're playing like Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta ramp, your turn 2 is you get a +1 deflect blocker. In this case, I do have the blocker, and my goal is to try to mitigate myself. I want to get myself down to either 5 or 4 life. I think in this case, since I'm already at 3 energy on my ending my turn 2, I want to go ahead and get my energy down the 4, my life down the 4, just so that I can go ahead and awaken, since that is one of the restrictions of I have to awaken at 4 life or less. And of course I only draw a card when I awaken, so it's not the best thing in the world. But I did go ahead and take that life. I know Trino's going to go ahead and play another Overwhelm card. He plays Beyond, I believe Beyond the Limits. I always forget what this Goku's name is. Overwhelming, he's going to grab a card. I believe he grabs a Feigned Greeting. Or no, he grabs Trunks because hand size is great for him. I know during this game I was talking about how, in my opinion, I thought I was going to get pushed in because my turn 1 and 2 are so weak that if I get pushed in aggressively, I'm at a very low standing, and I know in a lot of decks they can whittle down my hand as well, or force me to either block, negate if it's like a double striker or multi-striker. In this case, I was overthinking the Overwhelm package. I don't know why. It was not overthink it. I think I just tell myself, I psych myself out like I'm not going to win this, especially in the last round, where throughout the day I played against... I know I played against a yellow deck, and I know I played... Oh, I remember this day. This day was round 1 with Jiren aggro, which I only won because we went into time. I won because we won at time. I wasn't sure. I know I could have lasted 2 more turns. I wasn't sure if I would have drawn another Goku to swing at him with, because the Goku's kind of when he bounces everything and makes that they can't combo. He was mono red and he used up most of his negates and he was at 1 life. I would have been able to swing, and I also had more Boo Units in my deck. Round 2 was against Robbie. Robbie was piloting his green Boo deck, which he actually, I believe it was Robbie. He misplayed that day. Was he didn't realize that he could have just played another one of that 5-drop green Boo and just devastated my field. And he would have gotten rid of my field in hand. He would have won for the game, but he forgot, and he instead went for a Bob to Unison. It was very clutch because I top decked a Barrier of the Hope to remove the 1 Boo that he had, because the Boo comes back if it's KO'd, but it bounces back to hand. I can't remember my round. No, my round 3 was against it was against Android 17, which that one was very funny because that one it was this guy that I know, his name's Sean. He was playing 17, and I played Ready to Rumble the Floodgate, and typically most players, maybe they'll swing once or twice and that's it. Now in this case, Sean he swung everything and he went down to 0 energy. And I was looking, I'm like, and I was, now, in most cases you'd think, okay, how many negates can he have? I was lucky and I was holding 3 Dimension Magics, because I had been negating with Floodgates that entire game. And so, like, for example, here, that's one of the Floodgates is the Baby Gohan, which, if he wants to attack, he has to pitch one. Or bottom deck one. And so going on was, again, in that Android 17 matchup, I won because he overswung. And then I was able to swing, I swung with Boo, he negated it, I played another Boo, swung, and the Boo was able to take the win. In this match right now, we're still in his turn 2, and this was like some of the stuff I was afraid of, was if I wasn't able to get enough untap, especially because I'm awakened now, but I wasn't awakened passing the turn, so I had to untap the energy on my own with like a Sensu Bean and so on. So now we're going to my turn 3. Having the ramp 1 advantage is good. It's still awakened that makes it really good. Being able to tap 4 and not regret having no energy going to my end step is a great feeling. I know right here, I believe I go and swing at the leader, because at that point I knew that he had more demigod units. Since 1 drop, it's not going to do much. So I wanted to whittle him down as much as possible. And I swing with the Gohan because the Gohan, I figured might as well, it's free 20k body, swing with it before it gets knocked out or something. And then here's the Boo. The Boo, I think, is one of the heart and souls of the deck, because this 4-drop Boo is just disgusting with this leader. Being able to hardcast Boo plus 0 and I get all my energy back on my 4 energy play is great. And then, like, for example, for here, he has a super combo to get out of it, which is fine with me. I get to end my turn knowing I have a couple Floodgates in hand. Boo's gonna come back up, blocker, -1, 4 energy. I believe at this point I'm at 3 life. I'm not gonna be able to do much going forward, but knowing that I am able to at least live for a turn or 2 is good. I believe at this point also I had a Baby Hatch in hand, so I knew I had 1 turn locked down. I just didn't know how much worse it was going to get the more I would let him go. One thing I did learn is I did not hold back on my Floodgates. I know I'd hold the Vegeta in my hand in case my opponent would try and do something. I'd be like a D-Magic play, bounce my energy, whatever, untap energy, whatever. Wholeheartedly, if it's an aggro matchup, I'm going to do Ready to Rumble, just to punish them on that energy, and I get a free blocker, and I have a Boo. I don't know what he could have, but for example, he has the Thwarting the Dark Empire Gogetas. I know he's probably playing them in his deck, and I would rather make him have to think harder on that play if it's worth nicking an energy and then overall losing the card because of Boo, rather than going and not unholding the negate. Plus, I have the blocker still for Ready to Rumble, so I can still block it. He goes ahead and plays another Beyond Limits Goku, getting that Black Mass Saiyan, which of course is going to get rid of my Vegeta blocker that I just wholeheartedly talked about. But of course, that was just my mindset in waiting for the game. I believe I also, yeah, I already saw it too. I have a Dimension Magic in hand just in case I do want to untap 2 of my energy. That's worst case. However, I don't think in this turn I get down to that. So he's going to play that the second overwhelm, getting rid of this. I do know one thing I didn't realize until the end of the game was I was holding God Sealing Trunks for the longest time, not realizing if I counterplayed just one of his Overwhelm, he wouldn't get Wormhole, because Wormhole says when a card is played, so God Sealing says instead of being played, it goes back to the hand, and Overwhelm was used already, or attempted once, so he couldn't do it again. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and play another Calamity Challenger, get the free draw, play the body on the field. I think I was, because at this point, I was trying to search for the pieces to do the chain into the Ultra Instinct Goku. I know at one point, I'm going to swing with this Boo. I think this is where I just go, yeah, I go tall. I'm trying to go ahead and I do a super combo bottom decking, and I believe I'm going to go here and do another one. I'm just trying to get my chain pieces so I can try to do the Goku. Because at this point, if I go tall, I whittle down his hand, even if it only hits super combos. And then that way, I'm able to replenish my own resources, knowing what I can and can't have, and try and get the Ultra Instinct to go for the winning swing, because he'd still have to use a negate. And I believe I already saw him mill 1 Petrification, and it's very rare for most black decks to even main deck 1 Petrification, unless it's a hatch deck. So going here, I get it up to 40k double strike. He's going to go ahead and he's going to start comboing out of it with his own super combos, which is what I was hoping for. And let's see what else we're able to get. It does 2. And I believe that's already 3 of his 4 super combos, which I was feeling good about, because knowing that he's not going to have much combo power when I try to push with anything bigger is great for me. But I do know him comboing, it fills his graveyard, which helps with his overall. Now, him doing that made me actually laugh, because I thought he was just going to do 3 super combos and be like, all right, that's it. Or 2 super combos plus 2 5Ks. But doing the Champa, I looked and I'm like, I mean, it makes sense too, because if he has the energy up, and he knows he's not going to use all of it, but he knows he's not going to go as pressurized, or he has another Champa in hand, it's best just to use it defensively rather than go for all the super combos. Here, I am going and I'm playing the Calamity Challenger Goku, and I do decide to pass on the turn, just untapping my Boo and my energy. 2 blockers up, well, 3 blockers up, negates in hand. I know I most likely do have. I think I have another Ready the Rumble in my hand. I know what I am reading right now is the Golden Avenger Baby that I have, which I play tech as a 1 of. I always wanted to play it at 2, because there are situations where when I get to late game, if I'm pushing advantage, where it would be useful. So for example, here's one thing where I just God Sealing the Gogeta, goes back to hand. And I believe, yeah, he Union Fusion for that one. I probably made a mistake, and I should have waited until he did something else. I think my instinct was, I thought he was overwhelming, so that's why I immediately did it, and I realized in my head. But also, I didn't want him to start removing my blockers. Now, he does play the Fighting Against Fate Bardock, which I believe I'm at 3 life still right now. It may be 2. I was worried about having to deal with the additional swings. Not super worried, but knowing this is probably what I'm going to use my Boo's -1 on, just so then he can't get the swing. Which is what I decided to do. I go -1, put it at the bottom. Figuring he's going to probably play another thwarting, I want him to play that. The main reason being is because at this time, I'm thinking about playing the Golden Avenger Baby, which is why I said it's rare for me to do it. Not rare, because I need to have all 5 energy up, and most times I'm trying to go in for the Goku swing. In this case, see, I'm even thinking about it, like, do I want to do it here and not get the bottom 1 or return 1? But I think what I ended up deciding is just waiting for him to play another card. I was willing to take the risk that he was going to swing with a double striker, and still warp something. So I believe in this case he goes and he's going to warp. He's going to warp one of the Gokus, and I block with the Goku. Me thinking in my head, okay, it's not like I'm going to draw the missing piece for the chain. I'm going to block with him. And I laughed because I believe after this turn I did. And I'm like, well, that's great. But, so he goes, does that. I block with it just so that I'm not losing Boo. He's going to play the Bardock fight against Fate. That's dead. And then at this point, I do decide to go ahead and do Golden Avenger Baby. Choosing to I think it's bottom deck that, and Bardock goes back to your hand. And at this point, it goes back to hand. I draw a card, I get a free 30k triple striker. So I have more pressure now because of it. Me being naive, I didn't even think, oh, what could his secret rare be? Because knowing Pen is such a great secret rare, why should I worry about it? And if you paid attention earlier on in the game, you did see he did actually draw it. But so, for example, here I did go ahead, strike a light, untap 2. Just because I would rather not have my Boo. I didn't know if he was going to play anything else, so I'd rather keep the Boo up just in case, and then get 2 energy while I'm at it. But he ends up passing. I do go ahead and get that. I get the draw card. I believe here is where my first I swing, and I think he negates it. Yeah, because he's looking at Pan, but I don't think he does Pan here. He has Kai, so it is Kai because he's gonna blink. I think he blinks my baby out. And I was debating if I want to stop it, but I think there is no point to me stopping it just because of the fact the attack still is negated. Baby will come back untapped, and so on and so forth. So I believe I just leave it at that point. Let's see. So then it's going to get bleeped, and it's technically warped. It'll come back into my turn, negated effects. Let's see, we're just swinging with the Boo Unison. I can't remember. It comboed out because I did 20k because I wasn't really going heavy. Swing with my leader. Get plus 20. I get plus 5k. I think in this one he has 3 life, I believe. So I think in this one I don't combo. I can't remember exactly. Because he would have to minimum do 10k anyway, because I get a plus 5. So yeah, he goes up to 10. So it goes to 25. And I believe I pass. I don't think I tap out. I think I just play safe. Yeah, I play safe and pass. Because then he's going to go and do the... Because I know what I was... At this point, what I was thinking was, okay, I'm in a good advantage to have a triple striker on the field, which is a threat. So whatever he's got, he's going to either play aggro or defensive. And I think in this case, I just hard drop Hatch right away. Because of me being afraid of what he could potentially do. So, let's see. He's going to Union Fusion, which I believe... Oh, no. He does that. Oh, he overwhelmed. And this is where it clicked in my head. I'm like, wait, so if I stop that, he can't do anything else. Or no. I think that was later on in the game. I don't know. At some point, I do realize, I'm like, huh, God Sealing actually would shut down the wormhole. So, he gets that. So he has Bardock fighting again. He's going to swing. This is where I think I just drop Hatch. It's drop Hatch. I'm like, okay, I'm not dealing with it. Let's drop Hatch. You can't attack anymore. He won't get his leader trigger. He won't really be able to do much else. At most, I think he overwhelms to just draw 2 cards, and then he passes, knowing that. Let's see. So then so he does the Trunks, overwhelm, he does his drop. And then he's gonna go ahead and draw 2 cards. I know I was thinking about counterplaying it, but I'm like, there's no point to counterplay. He's just gonna pass anyway. And he has 5 energy up, which I was surprised. At this point, I hadn't hit any more Ready to Rumble. I did bump it up to 3 in this deck just because it's so proficient. And it's punishing at that point. I know a lot of people get very mad about it, and I think I've had more people say, "Oh, that's a stupid card," and then I look at them and I'm like, "Well, I understand you don't like it in this sense, but the amount of resources I have to sacrifice just so I can use a 4-drop Floodgate is insane." And they're like, "Oh no," I'm like, in order to do it, it's only effective in this deck essentially. You have Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, yes, but I'm not doing it for that purpose. And for example, for this, right now, he's playing the Thwarting Dark Empire Gogeta Super Saiyan 4 and Super Saiyan 3. And at that point, I'm like, I'm probably more scared of the Super Saiyan 4. But going back to the Ready to Rumble, I have to, for my example, I have to sacrifice a Early Awaken. I have to sacrifice an untap. I only get to draw on my Awaken. I have to sacrifice the draw on my swing because I only get to ramp 1. And on top of that, I don't have much draw consistency in this deck. I play Calamity Challengers to try and help fix that, but otherwise, if I go against a hand control deck, I lose because it just devastates my deck. And I tell people that. I'm like, that's my out to aggro is the Ready to Rumble, because then if you want to attack with a bunch of little boys, you have to give up your energy for it. In this case, like how I said, I completely forgot what Pan does, and so he plays Pan. Attack is still going to be swinging in, but then me in my head, I'm thinking, well, this sucks. He's just going to go ahead and steal my baby and kill me. Same thing goes with Hatch. So I'm sitting here like, well, I'm going to have to do the worst case scenario, and I believe, yeah, I do. I go ahead and just combo both the baby and the Hatch just so he can't steal it off Pan. So his only viable target is going to be the Gohan baby. So waiting for it right now. Let's see. I pay 1. I think I was going to combo from my hand, and I'm like, well, let me just combo from my field because I don't want him stealing it. Just waiting for myself to do it because I'm a little slow. Or no, I comboed that. I guess I did combo from my hand. I don't know why. Oh, because I could swing one more time with a battle card, I believe was it. And then I could swing with Boo. So I think I was just gonna swing with Hatch. Maybe? I can't remember how Pan works. Yeah, here he goes, because he does this. Gets the blocker. And I believe I just swing with Hatch and kill the blocker. Or no, I'm gonna try and be a little. I'm gonna try and resource gather. I was on +0 draw card. So I'm going to untap. I get 2 Boo triggers because I get to untap 2 energy. And I'm just gonna go do that, swinging. He does that. Get rid of the blocker. And then I'll just swing with Hatch at that point, because then the Hatch is tall enough. Or no, I don't swing with Hatch, I guess. Huh, I don't know why. Maybe I'm thinking of the card wrong. But so, go untap. He has this. I have a Boo. I have stuff in my hand. And I am just. At this point, I'm thinking, I'm like. He has a triple attacker. He has a double striker that warps a card. And then I'm going to have to nick 2 cards when that thing it swings. And I can bottom deck 1, blocker another. So I'm going to have, because he's going to have the auto. And I can't, because I know I want to get rid of the tall Gogeta first. Just because of how annoying it is. So I think what I do is I negate the attack to punish his hand. and then I'm gonna do the auto on Boo to at least bottom deck it, so he doesn't have the option to swing anymore. And the reason why I'm getting rid of the Gohan I just played is because I don't want him to have a valid target for Pan. So the Gohan has Servant, it has to stay tapped. It does not untap when he steals it. So my idea is to leave him with just a 40k tall girl that he can either choose, he'll swing with, but he really can't steal it. He can steal something, but that's it. And that he has nothing else afterwards. I believe we're still on the auto, and I have to nick 2 cards. So we're going through here. No, I think I already did. So he's going to go ahead and do Demigra. He's going to do a Trunks. I think this is where I finally realize it. In my mind? No? Yes, no? No, I don't realize it. John never realizes it. We don't know why. Or no, I do. So this is where I do it. Because I'm like, I put it back in my hand, and he asked, does it trigger? And I'm like, does it say played? And we realize yes. So he doesn't get any of the triggers. So we could do that. So then he tried to do that. He doesn't get hand advantage. He just gets it back in his hand. He can't play it again unless he wants... Well, no, I think his auto is an overrun auto, so he won't get anything. I have 1 Dimension Magic left in my hand, so I can untap 2 more. I have a blocker. And I believe... Oh, no, I have 2 Dimension Magic. And I believe there's another Gohan. But I know he can only swing 4 times unless he can draw a card. And I don't think he's going to let himself get down that low, because that becomes something I realize in the end, is he doesn't want to let himself get low. So let me see, because he does end up playing that Gogeta he has in his hand. He plays another one, which makes me cry. Let's see what he does here. See, I do apologize, guys. It is kind of weird only being me on the video, because I think I only did the first video with that Mythic Booster Box. Otherwise, we would have more content. And of course, if you're ever in the Chicago area, definitely this video is going to try and get posted soon. But the Koalaty games for our locals, we do make sure we can try and have a box tournament at the end of every month. So this Thursday, the 28th of April, we are actually going to have a box tournament. We're going to cap off at, I believe, 22 players, because that's as much as we can fit in right now while we're still waiting renovations. And first place is going to get a booster box of Realm of Gods and a winter stamp pack of TP7. So X1s get still store credit. If you're in the Chicago area or know anyone, let them know. We'd love to have new people. I'll be recording the last 2 rounds of our players, and maybe you can be on here, and if you ever want to narrate the video with me, feel free. Otherwise, me and Trino are still talking about what we're going to do with this game, because I think it's Trino's turn, and he doesn't know if he wants to press on or not. I think he ends up swinging with the Gogeta, because it's best he gets to remove one of my cards and not let me have any battle cards, and try to nick down the Boo, because technically he can try to go for lethal with it, but he knows I have a blocker. Most definitely he knows I have Dimension Magic, because I think I've seen another video for this, and the player I was watching said that there's no need for Dimension Magic. I would just not agree, because Dimension Magic for blue leaders is just such a consequentially good card. It'd be understandable if you said that with Sensu Bean, because Sensu Bean has its pluses and minuses. Dimension Magic's just all around good. You strike a life, you get 2 energy back, you negate an attack. So what he ends up going here is he plays the God Trunks, and at this point I'm like, okay, so he's going to try and swing twice off that and refill his yard. I believe this is where I choose... I can't remember, because I already did the -1. Eventually I -1 a God Trunks. I know I didn't see it. There we go. I Dimension Magic. Now I have 3 energy up. I guess I was reading my energy wrong. I guess I already had 2 up. Huh. So he plays the other Gogeta. There he goes. He restands. He has 2 cards left in hand. I think at this point he's going to pass because he doesn't want to lose the rest of his hand. Of course, I have never not been wrong before. Yeah, see, he swings with that guy. Bottom deck stack, the super combo, because at that rate, he is going to have a dead super combo in hand because it's a 0K that needs to bottom deck something. So right now, I'm going to warp that because that's my only battle card, and then I'm going to lose 2 cards in my hand. Because I think what I'm deciding here is where I'm saying I'm not going to draw the other piece of the chain again, my ironic self. And I go and warp the piece of the chain that I needed. So I'm going to here, warping these 2. And it's going to be an Ultra Instinct Goku and Path to the Infinite, which is funny because I ended up needing the Path to the Infinite because I believe I draw another Calamity Challenger. So he goes, restands. He has a blocker now. He has Pan. I have to think about what I want to do. So we're going here, +0, draw a card. That's where I draw another Calamity Challenger, and I'm thinking to myself, well, that's great. I'm going to do Calamity Challenger, draw another Ultra Instinct Goku, I believe. Yep, there you go. And I'm like, whoa, I should have kept the Path to the Infinite, because at that point, I could have just pushed out by swinging with Leader, and I think what ends up happening is I draw, and I just combo as much as I can into my Leader, so then he has to use his field as combo. Because I'm going to do this, because, let's see, I do this, putting myself up to 30k, and then he goes ahead and he has to combo. That's 15 right there, and then 35. So then at that point, I'm like, okay, so I'm going to be able to take the winning swing, I believe, but I know I needed to get rid of the Gogeta. So I do the Kai beforehand, try and draw a card, swing with my Boo. He has a blocker, obviously. I did it just to so force him out of a blocker. So he does that, and then I'm going to go ahead. I believe I just swing with the Calamity Challenger. Yeah, Calamity Challenger, swing lead. Beerus destroys. Just give me the 15k or 10k, gives me the win. So I ended up taking the win for that locals. I was very happy. Super Saiyan 3 is my personal investment because I do love the original Leader and the package that comes with it. So thanks again, guys, for tuning into the vault. Hopefully for the next video I will have some of the guys back here on the channel. And stay classy. Enjoy the rest of your day.